Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to MMB University. This is Mystery Music Beats, aka Kevin. And here is another beat breakdown for Iceman Part 7. We have made a lot of headway. We are currently reviewing the Iceman Beat Pack anthology that I released several weeks back. All right, this is obviously an inspiration um, of Drake's Iceman album. Here we go. What I'm going to be going over is just the structure of the beat, the different melodies, the drums, how to switch it up from time to time for artists, etc. And this is also in collaboration with one of my producers, my producer buddies, Low Nine, as you can see right here. He sent me this sample right here. So without further ado, let's see what it sounds like. So this sounds like a kind of like very like horror or like a menacing type of sound. So um, now let's get into the counter melody. So this is the main melody right here. Here's the next one right here. So this melody is the same as the first one. This is just, it has a low pass on here. So on Logic Pro, let's see what it sounds like without it. Logic Pro, you can adjust the frequencies, etc. So just to really add some differentiation throughout the beat. So here's the counter melody to that. All right, so this is using a stock plugin, a stock piano from Logic Pro. So I always mix it up as far as finding different instruments, different plugins. Sometimes the best thing to do is just use what's available, readily available and accessible on your platform. Here's another counter melody right here. So this is another stock plugin using Logic Pro's Alchemy. Um, and here is the final portion of the beat. This is going to be the bridge section right here. And here's another portion of the beat, the final one. So this is I'm using a Labs plugin on here, which is free, by the way. I would highly suggest downloading that if you haven't already. So as you can see right here, this section, this is our intro. This is our chorus right here. Let me see. Let me just squish this down. Here's the chorus. Here's the verse. And then here's the bridge. So literally copy and pasting. When I made the beat, I just copy and paste what's over here. Now, if you notice, there's some differences when I copy and paste though. So in this part of the beat, the first verse, there's some drops. I add some cuts just to make it just to make sure the beat sounds so monotonous. But in the second part of the beat, the second verse, the drums are playing throughout. Okay, so and then the what I actually did in the second part of the verse, I actually made the verse longer, the second verse longer, and I removed the drums. I stripped away all of the drums right here. All right. And then from there, go back into it. So let's get into the drums. Let's see what all the drums sound like. Remember, the goal is to create a song ready beat for an artist. Um, we have the melodies established. That's my goal. Always the way I create, have the melodies, have the sections understood, whether that be the intro, the chorus, the verse, and or the bridge. For me, I need to have those clearly defined and understood in order for me to build out. So here are the drums right here. Let's start off with the clap. All right. So we have the clap, the hi-hats, the snares. I have another snare. So this is for like a transition effect. Sometimes I don't like to um, use like a riser. And then sometimes I just want to have something that's really cool. So let's see what it sounds like right here. So sometimes I'll add a snare effect that rolls down, as you can see. So as you can see, it rolls down into the transition. So sometimes I'll use like a 1x8, 1x32, 1x64 triplet, etc. So this is just another way if you don't like to use risers. In this beat, I do have risers in conjunction with the hi-hat or the snare pattern. But sometimes with certain beats, I don't have the risers. Um, I'll just have the snare roll just going. So besides that, I have the crash effect. So this is just with every transition, every section of the beat from the chorus to the verse, there's a clearly defined transition sound to notify either the listener or most importantly the rapper that okay, this is another part of the beat. And then let's actually listen to the riser. And then of course the beat tag. So as I've stated before, the goal is just to make a song ready beat. So once again, here's our chorus. Here's our intro. Here's our chorus. Here is the verse. And then here is the bridge. Then once again, the chorus. And then here's the verse. This is an extra long verse. I wanted this to have a little differentiation. Like I said earlier, there's no drums here. I'm purposely stripping away sounds. Usually from the chorus, all the drums, notice how all the drums are playing in the chorus. But in the verse section, some of the drums are stripped away. So in this second part of it, notice how the snare, the perk, and the open hat are gone. But in the second part, the final part of the chorus of the verse, I'm reintroducing the snare, the perk, and the open hat. So this is just to make sure that the beat isn't boring. You don't want to replay. You don't want to have the same thing playing over and over and over again. you want to make sure that every section is very distinct. And of course, it just depends on the sounds that are going on. Everything is subjective, but that's how I process it, just to make make sure the beat's not boring. All right. So we have all that ready to go. This particular beat is 3 minutes and 25 seconds. I actually had an artist, Starks, shout out to Starks, who rapped on his beat. This is a collaboration with Low 9 from the UK. Really great producer. He sends me a lot of great sounds. And he, in this ICEMAN pack, I believe he helped me to create, there's 13 beats within the ICEMAN collection. He helped me to create beats 6 to 13. So the majority of the beats, more than half of the beats, he's contributed to. So phenomenal. Check out his work. Look him up. And yeah, I'm going to play a portion of the beat. If you have any questions or concerns, suggestions, let me know. If you want to see something different, let me know. Also, be on the lookout. I'm going to be sharing something really cool for all the viewers. I'm going to be giving away some samples and loops for any beginning producers to actually use, to practice with, etc. So thank you for tuning in. Without further ado, let's get into the beat. Remember, intro, chorus, the verse, and then the bridge. So that's four different sections defined. And then literally I'm repeating that, except I'm just making the verse a little bit longer. Okay? Keep it simple. Let's go. All right. ICEMAN Part 7. Thank you for tuning in. Be on the lookout for the next beat breakdown for ICEMAN Part 8. All right. Without further ado, this is M.M.B. University. I'm Mr. Music Beats, aka M.M.B., aka Kevin. Thank you for tuning in. And like I said, if you have any questions or concerns, suggestions, let me know. Please like, subscribe, share this video with any other producers that you think would benefit from. But yeah, enjoy the week.